We just wait for some delegates to enter the session, and we could start the. I could start the session. All right.
Are we live? We are live. Is it right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And are
I'm
we
just waiting.
recording?
Yeah, I'm already. We're already live. I'm just waiting for the delegates to enter the session.
Okay.
They are now receiving pop-up message that our session is on live.
Understood.
Thank you.
Are we also recording this? Just wanted to check that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Marga, shall we start?
Yeah. In last 2 minutes, I'm still waiting for the delegates to come in. So they could. For now, we still have four, and I'm still waiting for the others to come in before we started. That's fine. Because the panel
Okay.
discussion right now is almost done. Thank you.
We will wait. Thank you.
All right, good day everyone. My name is Marga, and on behalf of EDX, we are delighted to welcome all of you to this EDX exchange. Before we begin, please keep in mind the following reminders you are seeing on your screen. Later on in the open discussion, please click the raise hand button to ask a question and be invited at the stage, or you can just type your questions on our Q&A button. Also, feel free to share your insights or comments in the chat box. These navigations are located in the right part of your screen. So, without further ado, I hereby introduce our top leaders. As the main facilitator, we have Mr. Sivan Umapathy, the Chief Information Officer of Telekom Malaysia. Joining him as a co-facilitator is Satyen Vyas, Chief Executive Officer of Symphony Summit AI. Now, I would like to pass it to our speakers to finally start the discussion. Mr. Sivan and Satyen, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Hi,
Thank you.
Marga. Thanks a
Thank,
lot. Satyen, how are you?
hi, Sivan. I'm good. Thank you very much. Hope
Great
all is
stuff.
well with you. Yeah.
So I wanna welcome everybody to this event. This digital acceleration program is brought to you by DX, and of course, I would like to wish you all a warm uh, welcome and also mabuhay. I think that's what they call it over there in Philippines. Of course, I'm here. I'm talking from Malaysia, and Satyen is in India. And the goal of today's presentation or discussion in a large content is to look at the importance of digital transformation. The digital transformation, especially during this pandemic, has actually happened at a very accelerated point, to which there are a lot of learnings that we can share among us. So I would like to take the next 10-15 minutes just to share with you guys what we have gone through in the last 1 year or so since the pandemic started ravaging, more than one year 6 months now since the pandemic started ravaging us in this region. And of course, the impact of this pandemic has to say has really accelerated the digital adoption across the board. Now we like to look at this from two different angles. One is actually from the organization perspective. In this case, our employees, to which we had to bring them up to speed on digital proliferation, the adoption of digital. And this adoption of digital cannot work in the way that has always been there before. We cannot take what we are doing, all the activities that we were doing manually, and turn them into digital. So we had to simplify the process first, get the buy-in, and from there we had to move into digitalizing that whole component end to end. We started off by first introducing the ability for us to work from home by adopting collaborative tools, i.e., like Microsoft Teams, WebEx, and Zoom. And this actually allowed us to continue supporting the business. That's very important. We need to keep the lights on, and that's the first thing that we did. The second thing that we did was to really get the productivity still at optimum level, because we were having to work either hybrid or had to work almost big chunk of our organization had to work from home. So this is where we actually built a digital platform. It's homegrown, it's built, but I would say that Satyen will cover some of this that they already have it in their AI capability as well later, in which all we did was we were enabling a process for them to be able to register their attendance, capture daily tasks and diaries, and also drive their own supervision and productivity by using this platform. So this platform was also an ability for them to showcase that the productivity within the organization was also strong. So that's mainly the components that we have enabled for us to work from home and anywhere during the time when we couldn't go to offices. Then on the customer front, it was completely a different what do you call that fray. The reason for that is because when you look at the customers and their supply chain, the enablement has to happen at multiple level. It had to happen in our platform. It had to happen on the ecosystem itself, because everybody has to come together and provide us a symbiotic environment for the customers to do their work. I mean, I'm talking here from a perspective of a telecommunication company. All that we do is, we onboard customers, and the only way they could have done it in the past was they had to walk into one of our outlets, or they had to walk into one of our dealers' outlet, and this was the norm. So we had to quickly adopt a different approach for our customers, to continue getting the services, and also being able to onboard our what do you call that, our plans, and the registration. So for this, we had to quickly move into contactless environment, contactless capability. Now, contactless capability works in a very different way than how we have been doing work today, but it's not something that is what do you call that, new. We have seen that with Amazons of the world, the Ubers of the world, and we took the opportunity to look at our environment and our ecosystem and our setup versus how to become digital native. So that was the push, and we quickly rolled out services and also platforms that can actually support this, and that what's helped us to enable us to provide continuous support for people. Now, that also means we had to accelerate certain of our capabilities from reactive support to proactive and self-healing support. So that's what has also happened on our front. We could not continue supporting the services by enabling our contact center, for instance. The contact center was one of our frontline operation that was really impacted due to this the fact that they were working in a confined area. This is where the pandemic can actually spread very fast. So we had to move them away. They had to now work from home, and we had to reduce the number of people that had to be supported. So this is when we had to accelerate the next level of things, which is to adopt the tools and capabilities that can even tell the customers that the predictive capability of telling the customers that the system is going to be having some issues in the near future. You can even say that all you need to do is just reset the router, for instance. So these are the elements that we had to bring forward. We had to work very closely with our solution partners, whether they are from the network environment or the equipment environment, but also we had to bring that whole ecosystem and supply chain together in order for us to adopt this. So this are some of the vital learnings that we had to go through. Did we get everything right? Of course, we didn't get everything right, but that was definitely an experience that we welcome, because it actually has pushed us to the limit of how to serve our customers better using the new norm of digital native, digital transformation. And at the same time, it also have moved us to make a very bold decision, I have to say, in many fronts. We had to change the way that we has to do. A simple area that I always tell people, we in the past we take things for granted, where we tell people that you need to sign with us for a long term, you need to have a long commitment and also contract with us. All that doesn't work in the digital front. So this is where the bold move, the decision that was made by the management and also the stakeholders to change the way that we do our business as well. So all in all, as I mentioned, speed of execution was the key for us to survive. I'm glad to say that based on what we have shared so far to our stakeholders, they've been very happy, because there's been a pent-up demand due to this, the need for people to work from anywhere, especially from home. And of course, just to wrap it up, the bold decision that was made in order for us to reshape the way that that we provide business services to our customers. So that's mainly on the lessons learned on what you call digital transformation. If I want to look at the benefit that has given both the customers and the employees. Now on the employee front, as I mentioned, the organization has become very, very agile, I have to say. For us to support this digital transformation and explosion that was happening, we had to do things very different, like what I said. So the fundamentals of supporting the customer engagement experience was we had to change that as well. We had to move into social listening for more input, so that we can carve out the challenges that was there. We have the instruments to see how good is our service, but it's always good to hear from to have the voice of the customers, to benchmark what are the things. So we had to pivot to that level. And also we had to be very cognizant of the price factor. The plans that we had to roll out was plans where people can easily accept, and it's affordable, because that is, with the pandemic, we also had a challenge where a large population could not afford the services. They were relying on a lot of the Wi-Fi capability they were having in the offices, that they were having, in the shopping malls. But when everything was closed down and everybody had to go back and work, it was not only about affording the internet connection, and also the broadband connection. It's also how in a family of 3 or 4, they can actually share those loads. So we had a huge spike in our demand for the connectivity, which we immediately had to deploy the new instruments and also equipments to make it happen. But at the same time, it also gave us an idea of what is the actual demand out there that requires us to support. So we had to speed up all our rollout plans, speed up all our delivery plans, to achieve this, to support the pent up demand. So those are the goods that has happened. What about the areas where we did struggle? Well, when it comes to managing people virtually, it's never easy. All of us wish that we can have this conversation in a, what do you call that, in a face-to-face setting, because you will know how I'm presenting, and I can see how you are responding to it. And it's the same thing when it comes to supporting the customers, understanding what their needs are, and knowing this, we had to quickly adopt and enable the capability of AI and machine learning, and that was very important. Everything from our NPS down to even how we structure our product had to come from a completely data-driven component, and we had to adapt that very quickly. And that's where we had to do a bit of trial and error. It doesn't work for everything, because for the longest time, the concept of building the services was based on butter spread. I take a plan, let's say $20 plan, and I set that across to the, what do you call that, to a certain segment of the market. But it's not going to work anymore, right? Because hyper personalization kicked in. People were looking at different bundles and different combination of services that worked for them. So that's where we had to adopt the AI concept and move forward with that. Now, the major component that I will have to say that helped us to drive this achievement, in which we added an additional 200,000 customers, our business grew quarter on quarter, and all those things, is that within the IT organization, we are the true enabler of the services for our businesses. We adopted a plan that we always refer as lean, mean, and clean. So we ourselves had to become very lean as an organization. running the support that is required in a more productive way. We had to drive simplification, and that's where the mean processes has to come in. And finally, we have to go away from this hybrid slash move into hybrid slash cloud technology, which are much cleaner. But more importantly, we had to reduce the number of systems. We had to move away from a very existential kind of systems. So with that, we looked at working with individual organizations, and this is where I strongly believe the dynamic collaboration that we had and the innovation that we brought in together helped us to achieve this. Now, if I want to sum up all those things in a very short phrase, to onboard a service in TM or in Telekom Malaysia, it used to take about 45 minutes. And what we have done in the last 6 months is that launched a platform that can actually onboard the customer within 10 minutes. So that's just like how you do it today in Amazon's or the Alibabas of the world, and that's what we have managed to do. There are many other things that we have also launched, like the RPA program, which actually have driven us to achieve an optimization of almost 85,000 hours across the board, and many other things. But I think I would like to end this conversation about for you to be surviving in this new mode of environment, mode of business making. You have to be truly digital native. So that's where I'm going to end. I would like to invite any questions if there are. If none, I'm going to pass it over to Satyen to start his presentation on the digital front.
Sivan, thank you very much for that wonderful explanation. And I must thank you and your colleagues in the industry, because as we moved rapidly from offices to home, it is because of the infrastructure providers like yourself that we can still do business, and quite successfully so. So thank you for the speed and agility with which you help your customers. We are also one of them. Sivan.
Well said, Satyen.
Thank you. With your permission, I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to walk through about a few slides. I just wanted to confirm if you can see my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible. Satyen, it's visible.
Excellent. Okay. So thank you again, and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity to be part of this interesting conversation. My name is Satyen Vyas, and I'm going to be speaking about reimagining employee-first digital experience. Let me first set some context about my background. I have about 30 years of experience in business, and pretty much all of it is in the technology industry. In the last 8 years, I've been a president and CEO of Symphony SummitAI. Before that, I was VP of Systemics for IBM for India and South Asia territory. I worked at GM for Dell, and I also was lucky to start a company of my own very early in my career, which I ran for 12 years, called Vitex Group of Companies, about 30 million of revenue. I would like to think of myself as an entrepreneur, a business leader, and more importantly, a technology evangelist. I'm always excited about technology, be it be personal or enterprise, and more so now, with everything going digital, I think technology is something which continues to excite me. As part of my credibility, in the last 8 years that I am running this company, I was lucky to have a team with me, which helped us grow SummitAI from a small startup to a disruptor in the global IT management space. Today, we have customers across North America, South America, Middle East, Europe, UK, India, Southeast Asia, going up to Japan. We have rapidly emerged as a key and probably the most preferred enterprise-class ITSM solutions as per Gartner's Peer Insight Customer Choice. We've been maintaining this rating for the last 3 years. As you can see, we are rated amongst the leaders and better than the leaders in the industry. So we continue to do very good by our customers and our partners. And of course, we are about 8 years old, so we are reasonably young, and we have a lot of energy in us to go and disrupt this market. In the last few years, we now have about 240 plus blue chip customers in multiple verticals: telecommunication, technology, retail, healthcare, consumer, auto and manufacturing, financial services. But you must be wondering, what are we talking about here? So today, I just wanted to introduce SummitAI to you, but that is not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about a subject which is very passionate to my heart, and that is a robust digital employee experience is the most important investment any organization can make. Now, when Sivan explained about how quickly Telekom Malaysia was able to respond both to the changing work environment due to pandemic, also changing business dynamics due to pandemic, it is one thing that I picked up very clearly is that they paid a lot of attention for making sure that they're enabling the employees to also experience the digital experience as much as they were working with the customers and the end customers What we learned is that this pandemic has separated the businesses into two categories. On the one hand, some organizations unfortunately were laggards, caught a little bit off guard with the crisis, didn't invest in technology, so they went into survival mode, probably made just simple choices to stay afloat and catch up with whatever they could do with the customers. On the other hand, we have also firms like Telekom Malaysia here, which actually took the opportunity to accelerate digital transformation as a focused investment. Reacted within days. We talked about how quickly they could react to the situation and started launching service at a lightning speed. At the same time, I heard about lean, mean, and clean, right? So quicker, focused, and simpler processes delivered for both employees and the customers so that they can actually experience the digital experience much faster, and as a result, put a distance between themselves and the competition. So you can see that while COVID pandemic was a crisis, but it also was some sort of opportunity for our performers to rapidly adopt digital and get ahead over the competition. Uh, this, excuse me, this is a buzzword, and all of us know that. Today, from a global service, close to 70% of reporting will accelerate digital business adoption in response to COVID-19. About 90% of CIO, CTO, the technology leaders in the industry are using better and greater digital channels to reach the customers. And overwhelmingly 80% of technology leaders are talking about launching newer services, pivoting the business, and getting more focused on customer service using digital. However, an important point that I would like to bring to your notice is that most of these initiatives, most of the digital transformation initiatives are customer-centric. Now, it's important for us to understand as to who is serving your customers. It's our employees and our extended ecosystem, such as partners and agents and other extended ecosystem that you may have for your business. So what is the strategy for your company for delivering employee-first digital experience? Our submission is that no transformation can be complete unless it is driven both inside and outside. So outside is focused on the customers, but inside is focused on the employees. Now, we all know that as the societies and economies have evolved, the experience that employees expect from within the enterprise are getting more and more consumer-alike, more and more complex, more and more, and there are reasons for that, and I'll come to that in the next couple of slides. But if you're a CXO of a growing, progressive enterprise, you must look at creating the impact by increasing employee engagement, employee productivity, and whenever I use the word employee, I talk about employee, but also extended ecosystems such as partners and other colleagues that you may have for your business, driving the speed of business. Because today, The technology that is available to us offers tremendous advantage that you could be, we talked about, again, Sivan, I'm going to use your example of something which used to take 45 minutes is now can be done in 10 minutes. That is a nearly 70% speed of business increase. And that actually is very impactful for business because that kind of drives customer expectation and satisfactions as well. Driving collaboration within the enterprise. And of course, least but not the least is to use the newer technologies like AI and automation to create a complete, comprehensive digital enterprise inside and outside of your business. Let me illustrate this with some interesting examples here. So, this is a gentleman, which is our colleague in our office. He works for our company about 40% of his waking hours, morning 8 to 6 in the evening. And for the rest of his life, he's a consumer. Now, you can imagine when the is a consumer, he has at his fingertips a plethora of digital tools to get various services delivered, such as calling a cab, or shopping online, or delivering a cooked food at home, or buying from places like Amazon and Shopee. And one common thing that you'll notice here is that most of this digital experience is available at his fingertips, is intuitive and menu-driven. It is very predictable. You can actually track every step of the process that is going on in the backend, always updated, always alerted. And there is something called SLA, which is service level agreement, as in get your pizza in 29 minutes or it's free, or get your grocery delivered in 30 minutes or something of that sort. The same consumer who is so much happy and so much excited and so much used to technology such as this, when goes to work and tries to work across multiple functions, this is what he experiences. Multiple functions: HR, finance, administration, facilities, and all of them are supposed to enable your employee to service the customer. But if one has to get anything done internally, we are still using the technology such as documents, emails, maybe telephone follow-ups, WhatsApp, text. At the end of it, the experience one gets as a consumer, which is wonderful. You go back to work, you are trying to struggle through the entire ecosystem of what's going on, and that actually can be slowing your business down. Now think about how can you transform this entire ecosystem workflow. What if you could think of a single service portal where an employee can access all the employee services: IT, HR, finance, admin, facilities, marketing, sales, there could be many such, and enjoy pretty much the same experience that he enjoys while being a consumer, which is easy access, intuitive, omnichannel. Excuse me. Omnichannel is very important because today we are looking at accessing everything not only through a mobile phone or computer, but chatbots are also becoming very, very, very pervasive in the enterprise technology. Multi-tenant collaboration across all these business functions, so that, and I'm going to elaborate in some use cases here. Again, all benefits of flexibility, updates, SLAs, alerts, etc. Now, if we are able to achieve this outcome for our employees, we can see a tremendous improvement in employee engagement, employee productivity, and employee satisfaction in general. Let me walk you through 2 or 3 digital workflow use cases to elaborate my point. Now think about employee as somebody who is working for you for a compensation, or a partner who's working for you as a partner, and the singular focus of that individual is to serve the customers as to the promise that you make to the customers. Now that's primarily the role of the employee. But employee also is required to be supported by the rest of the organization, and think of employee as a consumer of internal services. A typical organizations will have a journey which starts with onboarding, training, software installation on the IT, maybe queries about compensations, upgrading office sales, infrastructure, ITs, providing office supplies, maybe working through office relocations, travel, cab, travel booking, hotel booking, etc. Queries around HR policies, health insurance. You get the gist of what I'm saying here. Now, for each of these, the employees is required to interact with somebody inside the office, either technological IT function or HR or admin. And recall the slide I showed you a couple of slides ago. Most of this conversation happens or email, WhatsApp chats, and there is really no track record of how quickly your other functions are supporting the employees to get this done quickly and out of the way so that they can focus on their main job, which is to create value for you, which is to create customer service, customer value, sales maybe, depending on what kind of business that you are in. It is important that at a C level, you start looking at your employees as a consumer of these services. If you deliver them well, the employee is going to be able to perform far better what you expect from him or her. Take another example, and this is a little bit complex slide, so I will take some time to explain this. But in a in a any mid-sized or large organization today, serving customer satisfaction, customer retention, and all of us know that that is super important, because unless we retain our customers, the cost of new customer acquisition is going to be much higher. But both for acquisition and retention of customers, there are multiple teams who are working together collaboratively. Today, the amount of enterprise knowledge that there is, the amount of complexity that there is, it is impossible for any single person to be able to serve the customer either from the sales angle, technology sales angle, or customer support angle, to do this alone and independently. Most of these customer facing teams here are always and always in the need of support from what you can call backend teams, the enabler functions. The product management team, for example, or knowledge function within the enterprise, or marketing team which can provide collaterals for sales and PC guys, or documentation team which can provide more detailed support for delivery or customer support team, or on the manufacturing or engineering teams as well. You can provide feedback to customers and team platforms and make changes. Now, you can imagine how complex this entire workflow is currently in most organizations, because it is run through an email system or possibly a EPI type system. Communication is quite well through these systems. What is missing? The opportunity to track the responsiveness, the opportunity to track the responsiveness, the opportunity to learn from the of what type of data that are coming your way, and then create items packages out of that. Your customer facing teams are more efficient and effective, and all of this can actually be sorted very, can be executed very well through a single search portal that can
Sorry, Satyen.
involve from any function A.
Satyen, 1 second.
Hello. Yes.
The connection was not so good for the last 1 minute or so. I just want to give you a heads up.
Oh, my apologies. But was it better before?
It was better until last 1 minute ago.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, Satyen, you are cutting in and out for now.
Okay, just confirming, is it better now?
Yes, it's better now. Could you try again? Because I'm
My
seeing the
apologies for
internet
that.
is getting low.
Okay, is my screen visible to you also?
Yes, it's just that the audio. Oh, okay. I think it's better now.
I couldn't understand, Martha. Can you say that?
We can see your screen.
It's better now? Okay. Okay. So I think I apologize for my name. So I'll start again. Like I said, this is about you can find Mother, You can go on mute, please.
Satyan, you are still
If
cutting
you
in and
can.
out.
Okay.
Um,
Satyan, I would advise if you are using other collaboration tool like
All right.
WhatsApp, desktop, or whatever not, you can keep that first.
Yeah, I'm going to switch off my video. Is it better without the video?
no, it's still the same.
Okay, I'm really sorry for this. I hope this is better.
Yeah, where we
Yeah,
go ahead. Yep.
yeah. It's better now.
No, I think my network is going up and down for some reason.
Yeah. I think
Apologize for that.
you can turn off the video feed first,
Uh,
Satyan. Yeah, this better.
yeah, I'm going to turn on the video feed and then I'm just hoping that this is better. Uh,
Yes, it's better now.
all right, so let me come back on the flow. I hope this is better. I'm just confirming again because my signal is showing weak, unfortunately. Is it better? Okay, I'm getting
Yes,
thumbs up,
Satyan.
so which is nice. Okay, so I was talking about this is a busy slide, but this is the collaborations between the customer-facing team and the backend team, which is supposed to enable the customer-facing teams with the right amount of knowledge and support. Now you know that in any enterprise, the the there's not possible for one single individual to successfully either sell or support the customers. And the front-end teams are always depending on the back-end teams, which are enabler functions, such as product management or learning academy or training teams, as well as documentation, marketing teams, etc. Now, in most companies, these workflows are used through an email system or a chat system. uh, while that is very useful and that's very functional, what you can imagine is that you lose the opportunity to one keep track of the request and the status so that you can learn about the responsiveness. You're losing track of SLA possibilities there in terms of how quickly can you improve the service response, and also there's a lot of learning and data analytics opportunity that is missed because there's no single no single record of repository of records where you can analyze all these incoming service requests and make sure that you are able to deliver it better in the next time. Now, imagine a system, a single service portal, which can enable collaboration between all functions, function A and function B together through a single place where you can raise service requests and you can deliver service requests to each other. That's another use case that I was talking about. I will talk about another use case which is very important and also close to my heart, is that in India, in April to June cycle, we went through a COVID second wave, and we had a tremendous challenge, because many of our colleagues were or their families were not, well, they had COVID, and there was a lack of supply of oxygen and medical equipment. So about 1,500 employees of Symphony Group are in India. So we put together a process by which we imported about 50 odd oxygen concentrators and made them available to all our employees through a service request portal, which was stood up in about half an hour on SummitAI system, where all the employees were given access. So we had, on one hand, employees distributed across the country, and it's a large country, India. We had about 50 odd oxygen concentrators, which were distributed in main center locations like Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore. And we created this workflow in about half an hour to be able to allow employees across 6 group companies of Symphony Group across the country to quickly request concentrators for themselves or their loved ones or their family or friends, uh, validated through HR in terms of validity of the request being right or wrong, and executing that through logistics. And of course, there was zero logistics for this to happen, because once the work was done, I must say that this was very well appreciated by all our employees, because we did what we could at that time. And all of this was possible because we had a central employee service portal which we could use to deliver these services. I'll take a pause here just to validate whether I was able to be clearly audible.
Yes, Satyen, I think you were very audible and great sharing on this on life saving stuff.
Yes, yes, this was really appreciated by all our employees, and I'm very proud that we managed to provide support to whoever we could on a very very timely basis. Uh, Coming back to the thesis of what is a workplace technology that needs to keep pace with consumer technology. How does this look like? It needs to have a platform for cross-functional employee journey. It should be able to deliver quick and easy access to service anytime, anywhere through omni-channel access. It should eventually focus on unlocking productivity through collaboration by replacing manual processes and siloed processes into a single digital workflow. Leverage AI and automation to drive productivity and speed. And at the end of it, make sure that the employees are engaged, satisfied, and productive at work. Now, if you were looking at a solution like this, and there are a few such in the industry, including Symphony Summit AI, um, I would advise you to think about what should be you looking for an ideal enterprise service management platform. First is that the latest technologies today allow an exceptional experience to omnichannel engagement. By omnichannel, I mean engagement through web portals, engagement through mobile application, engagement through telephony, email requests, as well as a virtual agent like a chatbot. Uh, you should be able to make sure that employees are able to self-serve with a solid knowledge and intelligence available in the system, so that you don't actually have to even come to the serving agent. You can self-serve because there's a lot of knowledge that is available in the system. Rapid rollout of services is extremely critical because the business environment is dynamic. Crisis management aside, even the business opportunity, you can actually get a significant benefit if you're able to roll out the services rapidly. So something that is easy to roll out in terms of services and workflow at a lightning speed. Um, AI and automations are latest technologies that must be leveraged for productivity gains, speed, and accuracy. A future enterprise scalable multi-tenant platform is recommended because as the business grows and as the functions grow, one can actually start creating multiple tenants and start delivering services for each of the tenants. It should still be easy in terms of low code and no code administration, because you don't want to buy a solution or not necessarily into a solution which requires an army of people to run it for you. You should be able to run it very simply. It should, of course, work with other technologies in your company. And last but not the least, it should provide you deeper insights into what is going on multiple services, so that you can drive improvements, learn from the patterns, and get at delivering employee services. So I will leave you with the same thought that I started with, which is a robust digital employee experience is the most impactful investment any organization can make. Uh, a single slide on SummitAI solution stack. We are a futuristic, multi-tenanted AI and automation-driven employee service management solution. You can know about us more on our website. We use virtual agent called Cindy, who can emulate a human agent and serve the employees and the customers. We are multi-tenanted across multiple functions. We deliver IT service management, employee service management, asset management, and service automation. And we have a team focused on the region. Devdas is the regional director for Southeast Asia, and Madhur is a solution consultant for the region. Uh, Thank you very much for the attention. I apologize for the technical glitch. I hope I was able to convey my thought and message with reasonable quality. So thank you again for the attention. Sivan, I'm back here. Yeah.
Great stuff, Satya. And I think we heard all together
Yeah.
a complete ecosystem that actually supports the digital enablement for the employee. I'd like to recall that inside plus outside view. I think that's a perfect way of looking at the predicament that actually we go through every day. It's the same thing that that happens to me. It takes 10 minutes for me to order food, and arrives in half an hour. It takes 3 months for me to do the same thing, when it comes to deploying an infrastructure or a service. So definitely, I think there's a lot of learnings here that we can take on board. And I also want to, applaud you guys for doing a great CSR, process for, saving lives. I think that at this point in time is the most important contribution that anybody can provide to this world. The background that I come from, we always look at this frontline workers, especially the medical staff. They are today, the key for our survival. So it's
Yeah.
good that whatever that we can contribute as well. So great stuff, a great presentation. Looking forward to working with you in the future as well.
Cool.
There's a lot of learnings that we can share and collaborate, as they say, right?
Yes.
To make it
Absolutely.
more powerful. All right, Magal, I'm gonna give this back to you for Q&A session. If there's any questions that the audience has for Satyen on the presentation, please fire away.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Sivan and Satyen, for the wonderful insight. So I have one question from our delegate. It's from John Robert Gregorio from Morocco. His question is, if the pandemic is over and we are back to normal, what pandemic-related technology practices should be retained and what should be evolved?
Right. Satyen, you want to take this?
Yeah, that's a very great question because I'm going to again go off on video just to make sure that I can be heard clearly. Uh, that's a wonderful question. I think, and Sivan, of course, you are running a large technology infrastructure for a large telco, so I'm sure you have a very good perspective as well. In my opinion, uh, pandemic created an opportunity for digital transformation for progressive companies, and I don't think they are going to go back on it. In fact, also many a times, all of us were wondering whether people could work productively from home, and we have we have been grown up with this factory mentality that people should come to work, and now suddenly we realize that our employees are really very mature. They are committed. They are able to work, and they are actually more productive. So I think the digital transformation, collaboration, workflow automation, those are the technologies that will remain. I think work from home will also remain. However, there is a little bit downside to work from home, especially in the businesses like ours where we are creating cutting edge software. We need collaboration in person because some ideas can come up from there as well. So it's going to be a mix and match of maybe 2 days of working and 3 days of working remote. That's what we are thinking. I think technology onslaught on digital transformation, I think that's going to continue. It's going to get more and more affordable, more and more customized, as even you mentioned about how you rolled out specific plans for your consumers, and it is going to be an exciting world. Hopefully, the pandemic gets over soon, and we start enjoying the technologies as BAU basis. Sivan, back to you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I have to agree on two items there. Number one, when I were talking to my stakeholders and saying that IT is one of those roles, a perfect fit for people to work from anywhere. The reason is because we've been doing digital collaboration even in a very early days in our service providing. So we had to have what we call the remote offices and the center of excellence elsewhere while you're delivering the service to your customers. So I told them boldly that I will move a very big chunk of my organization to work from home or work from anywhere as soon as possible. And we delivered that last year. So that's not going to change. In actual fact, I've got the buy-in from our stakeholders to continue driving this as we become even more lean as we go forward. So I think that's definitely going to remain. That's going to be the new norm of working for IT organization. The second part of it is what we talked about, the AI infusion, the data driven. I think that's now is for real. It's no longer it's about what people say. It's not about what people perceive, but it's about what people wants and needs are based on data. I think this is two areas that definitely are going to be staying for good, and is going to be the new way of us delivering our capabilities going forward.
Yeah, the AI concept that you mentioned is actually very relevant because you mentioned that it's not about what people say or what people say they want, but the data tells you what they want. And actually,
Exactly.
there is a big difference between this because all of us may be saying something, but our real needs can be pulled out from the data. That's very, very interesting observation. Thanks for that. Shane.
Definitely. All right. I hope we answered that question, Marga. Let's move on to the next one.
Yes, thank you so much. So we have another question. Should we launch our AI effort using some sort of solution, or will coding from scratch distinguish our offering?
Right. That's also another very good question. I have to say, the crowd is very tough today. They're giving us all the difficult ones. Let me. There's no hard and fast rule when it comes to data infusion in any organization. The most important thing is you want to use data for decision making and not for reporting. That's what we've been using it for the longest time. We want data to see whether we meet the numbers or whether the customer is happy and all those. That's what I consider as data 1.0. Data 2.0, even now is data 4.0 with the industrial IR 4.0. It's all about really infusing that data into making decision. So for instance, is 20 ringgit the right, or the $20 is the right price offer for a entry level services? Even that information is determined by looking at what exactly, like what we and Satyen was saying about the needs of the customers. Now, one best way to do this is you still will need to buy the what do you call that, the consensus data from outside. You can't get everything within your own ecosystem, so you will have to find out. It could be as simple as I'll give you guys an idea. We're trying to build the next generation environment for entertainment. To provide the video services, the what do you call that, the content services. And if we go on asking or getting the data from our side, it will not be good enough. We will have to get some consensus from Netflix. We have to get some of them from Amazon video services. These are data points that you also need to consider as part of your driving that the data driven capability. Over to you, Satyen, if you have anything to add.
No, actually, yeah, I just want to kind of enhance what you just said, Sivan, is to the gentleman who asked the question. Depending on the business that you are in, please, AI initiatives are super important for your business. But also, please keep in mind is that your AI is as good as the quality and quantity of your data.
Data, yeah.
If you do not have sufficient internal data, or if you do not have sufficient high quality data, AI is going to bounce, and you are going to see that the outcome is not something that you expected. Because AI is under all the magic words that you can hear from the marketing, essentially learns from what exists and then tries to repeat that and emulate that as a human being would. So for your enterprise AI initiative, data syndication, as Sivan mentioned, about from different sources, making sure your data quality is good is super important. So keep that in mind because AI sometimes can be driven as a agenda without sufficient foundation, and that may not successfully work. And that's my 2 cents on that.
All right, thank
Well
you so
said
much.
again. Back to you, Manga.
Yes, so we have another question. How to evaluate digital strategies and finding the balance between digital and human in customer service?
Okay. Satyen, you want to take this first?
No, you go ahead, Sivan. I'll follow you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just looking at the this concept, this is something that I've actually shared with my team when we first started this journey. It's about humanizing the technology. So it's not different from what Satyen was presenting just now about that whole journey map, and how do you anchor the human factor into the technology. Give you a simple example. Many times we tend to to look at the platform as not an enablement of service, but it's an additional task to be carried out. That's what Satyen was saying earlier. You look at HR as I need to log in, I need to authenticate my attendance, I need to declare health. Now this is how we look at HR, as opposed to looking at it to provide you to say, you have come on time, you're safe. There's this many people in the office that is affected by the pandemic. Looking at it from a different angle will help us to anchor the human technology. One of the things that we did for the NPS driver program is that we actually took the actual feedback from the customers on the area that we need to improve, not from a technology perspective, but from the experience perspective. So that actually shared, the expectation from the customers and the users were more of, do you know what is my problem? Instead of, you're telling me this is my problem, right? Do be more, bring in more empathy, bring in more, inclusion into that whole topic of discussion. So in doing this, the most important thing is actually, again, going back to understanding the customer's problem, and that's the only way you can humanize it. So the customer here, absolutely right, like what Satyen said, the customer is ourselves sometimes. So I use internet at home. I get complaints from my siblings or my parent, that the connection is not good. Then when I go and check on them, I know the fact of the matter is they are in very far from the Wi-Fi connection, and that's the problem. So this is the same problem that the customer is having. So, and making sure that we understand the customer, instead of saying, looking at our data point and saying the connection is very good. What is wrong? Instead of doing that, we have to change that whole approach, and that's what we have been doing now in the last 6 months, and asking them, how far are you from the Wi-Fi router? How far, do you have any what do you call that, line of sight that might might cause this problem? So just putting a concept of humanizing technology only happens by doing the right storytelling, and that's what we've been striving to do for the last 6 months. Over to you, Satya.
Yeah, great. Thanks very much, Sivan, for that. The question was around how do you balance between human and digital in the digital transformation initiatives. And my take is that look at digital in two aspects. One is how can you use or build a platform which can automate, which can streamline the workflows. And secondly, how can you leverage digital technologies such as workflows, AI, or automation to take away the repetitive and low value creating work from human beings and push your human colleagues to do what they are supposed to do, which is use their human intelligence and create higher level of value. So when you look at digital is not a replacement for human work. Digital is an enabler for higher level of human work, a um, higher impact or higher value of human work. Effectively, digital is supposed to make your life easy, uh, take out the repetitive, boring work, use the existing data to learn what could be the next response and make sure it is available to the human agents to make a decision, and create space to then create higher value work for human being. So that's how I would like to position the balance between human and digital in an enterprise. Again, my 2 cents on that. Yeah.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Sivan.
No, I have to say that he's encapsulated the input very well, right? Digital is supposed to make life easier. We anchor that as our theme, make your life and business easier, and that's why humanizing the technology is so important. You cannot make
Absolutely.
people's life easier if you don't humanize the technology. All right,
Absolutely. I
back
agree.
to you, Marga. Thanks again.
Yes, thank you so much, Satyen and Sivan. From the audience, do you still have any questions or clarifications for our speakers? If you have, please feel free to chat on our chat box. Okay, I think Sivan and Satyen, there's no more questions from our attendees. Do you have something else to say or to give insights to the attendees?
Just Steven, I'll go after you. Uh,
Yeah. So what I wanted to share with the audience is that this digital acceleration, or the transformation, of this digital acceleration, is here to stay for good. It's not something that we can tweak. What I would advise my colleagues here, and the industry leaders, is to start looking at rebooting, the entire ecosystem, processes, people, and technology, to align towards a digital native. It's going to be, actually, I wouldn't even say it's a future. It's already here. So I think we need to embrace it. We need to enable it, and enjoy the whole journey. I have so far in the last 3 to 4 years, and I'm looking forward to more of it as we go forward. Over to you, Satya.
Yeah, thank you again, Sivan. I think my observation would be that, as you rightly said, digital native is what we all need to become, and it is a journey that you must start if you haven't done already. And like you said, it's an enjoyable journey, and it's going to create a significant value for you, your customers, your employees, your stakeholders. My suggestion or request would be that when we are looking at digital transformation, consider it both inside and out. Make sure that not only your uh, customers enjoy great retail experience, but also your employees are enabled with retail experience so that they can deliver the experience to their customers. And like I said, investing in digital employee experience is the best investment you can make today. So think about that. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope that the audio issue was not a lot. Uh, Wonderful meeting with you, Sivan, and look forward to staying in touch as well. Yeah. So thank you again, everybody.
All right. So thank you everyone, especially to our speakers for leading the discussion and to all the participants who attended this session. And I hope you had a fruitful conversation. And don't worry, Sivan and Satyen, if ever we have received any questions or clarifications from our attendees, we will definitely send it to the both of you to answer all their questions. All right. And as
Thank
we
you.
continue to learn, please join the next keynote presentation right after this. It's actually starting right now. It just started, and it's our plenary session. And thank you, everyone, and see you there.
Take care,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Stay safe. Satya, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Yes, thank you. Looking forward to that. Thank you.
Take
Bye
care,
bye.
Maga. Bye.
Bye bye.